Good morning, lads. My name is Optinium, and today something quite exciting has happened. Or rather, yesterday. You see, the server that I've been playing on for a while decided to do a full world reset, which is something that I've been looking forward to for a while. Now, me and two others on the server saw this as the perfect opportunity to start a Minecraft Let's Play in celebration of the release of 1.16. Now, I did record quite a lot of footage from the first day, however, I wasn't able to provide any commentary at the time. So the footage might be a bit boring to watch on its own, so instead I'll be giving you a quick rundown of what happened. I started out during night time, which wasn't particularly great. However, it seemed like the entire mob cap was taken up by the other players that were on, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I found a cave with a decent amount of iron and other resources that was sure to come in quite handy. Everything went really smoothly until I needed to get ender pearls for my Eyes of Ender. I was extremely unlucky with the drops and the spawn rate seemed a bit off. But eventually I had a comfortable amount and was ready to start searching for the stronghold. The stronghold was pretty far away, but that was quite expected. However, this is where things started going south. There was close to no food in the area of the stronghold. No pigs, no cows, no chickens, nothing. And a big miscalculation from my end was that I expected there to be a decent amount of chickens available, giving me a way to get arrows for the obsidian towers during the boss fight. This meant that I could barely get any arrows, so I ended up entering the end with only 19 arrows, which was quite stressful. Luckily, the arrows were just enough to destroy all the crystals. Now, the boss fight in general was rough. The lack of arrows made me quite nervous, as it was my only way to somewhat safely take down the end crystals. As a result of my suspicion towards the amount of arrows I had, I decided to try to get on top of one of the larger pillars and then taking down the ones next to it. Great idea, right? Well, no. I died. I shook it off and went for round 2. The Ender Dragon knocked me in the air, but I wasn't really that worried. I've been playing single player for a while just to practice MLG bucketing, so surely this wasn't going to be an issue. Round 3, baby. Died in the exact same way. Again. I cried about it in chat and finished the dragon. Finally, the boss was dead and I got my portal to the islands. But most importantly, my dragon egg. The dragon egg. Arguably one of the rarest items in the game, incredible value and prestige, which is definitely nice since we are having an economy server. But this item won't be for sale. This is the item that I will cherish and keep as a reminder of my endeavours. Just kidding, I ended up into a wall and died in the void, haha! I tried to make an ender for my second attempt simply to get my hands on some ender pearls, because I clearly didn't learn anything from last time. But this time, I died because I forgot that enderman griefing is on. So the enderman simply deconstructed my ender and killed me on the spot. But you know what they say, third time's the charm, baby. I got my elytra and a tiny bit of diamond gear, but I wanted more. I went to another end city with a ship, got onto the ship, and got a bunch of gear. So, this brings us on to where I'm at currently. This is where we left off. We have just gone back from the mini end raid, and now it's probably time to go to our future home. I decided to set up at a mushroom island for 2 simple reasons. No hostile mobs can spawn there, which will hopefully prevent future fiascos and hardships from happening. Yeah, that will be good. The other reason is the color of the greenery. The grass and the leaves are incredibly saturated and lush if placed on a mushroom island, which is perfect for the mega base that I have in mind. The mushroom island is really far away though. The course should be roughly 7,700 by 5,000, so it's quite a long way to travel. However, this will hopefully mean that we can find a village somewhere on the way, which should come in really handy. Alright, we did find a perfectly accessible village relatively nearby. Now, my first priority should probably be to set up a temporary base of operations for small farms and other temporary stuff. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the place that we will call home from now on. It will require lots of effort to transform this place, but I'm really looking forward to it. Alright, I would say we've been relatively successful. We've got a small potato farm over there, which will be the crop that we'll use for our villager breeder. So that will most probably be torn down when the breeder is built, since, we have an automatic one then. We've also got a small tree farm and a sugarcane farm. Of course, I will probably expand it in the near future. I will also make a fully automatic sugarcane farm relatively soon, but that will be built in a designated farming area with a bunch of other farms. So hopefully that area will be built relatively soon, so that those mini ones can be taken down. So the next thing we should do is probably to get these guys to work. Now, I've gathered up most of the resources that we'll need to make a villager breeder. I've got a ton of dirt and some sandstone, which will be our main structure block. I did quite a bit of excavating in order to flatten out the island, so I got a bunch of dirt from that. So let's get building the breeder. I'll probably go ahead and build the breeder in this general area. Reason being that all the villagers are in boats currently, and it'd probably be a bit easier to transport them to the breeder if it's built on top of the water. I've been looking for my pickaxe for solid 10 minutes now, and I just realized it's right there. Right there in my inventory. Now that I take a step back and look at this thing, I just have to say that it looks truly awful. Which is a really weird thing, since the design made by Impulse SV, which is this design, has a really cool shape to it. So I think it's the clear glass that is messing things up a bit. However, I'm not sure what color I would go for, since white stained glass is always a winner and fits with most builds. I think cyan could also be a pretty cool vibe, since it fit in quite well with the water. Perhaps lime, since it'd make more sense with my mega base next to it later on. But the question is this thing permanent or not? I really don't want to put too much thought into a build that will be torn down later anyways. I've decided I'm definitely going for green, but I'm going to do a mix of normal cactus green and lime green to hopefully make it a bit more interesting. This is definitely going to fit in better on the island in the grand scheme of things. If you're wondering why I'm breaking this glass with a golden hoe, it's actually the only tool I have that is silk touch. Early game. Oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. Okay, let's see how this thing looks with the green glass. Better. Much better. Awesome. Okay, so the villager breeder itself is pretty much done now. I just have to remove this scaffolding and put the villagers in. Okay, so how do I actually want to go about this? Okay, so if I were to put water inside that silo, they should theoretically swim upwards and get into position. Let's try. And there's the farmer. Brilliant. Now I just need to plant all the potatoes and trade a tiny bit with the actual breeding villagers. Right, I need to remove this water. Alright, the farm should be active now. The structure for it doesn't look particularly pretty at the moment, but I will eventually get around to decorating it a bit more. I already have an idea in mind that would work out pretty well, I hope. But that will be in a future episode, because I think it's time to end the episode here. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more of them. Also, feel free to come with suggestions in the comments of what you'd like to see in this Let's Play. This is pretty much it for now. A good one.